We have learned that square root of 3 is an irrational number. So it has an infinitely long number of digits after the decimal point. So it is only right for us to limit that or to round off the value of square root of 3 to a certain number of decimal places. Now let's take a look at the value of square root of 3 using a calculator. Okay, this is my calculator. Square root of 3 is equal to 1.7320500808. And my calculator displays up to 9 decimal places for square root of 3. And why does it limit to 9? Because that is all the range or the space that my calculator screen has to display the result of square root of 3. So let me just write this value on my screen. 1.7320500808. It is actually should be longer than this, but this is the limit that my calculator display has, so it just displayed up to 9 decimal places. And from the exercise that we have done in the previous video, we found out that square root of 3 is roughly 1.732. We got this number because we limit it to until 3 decimal places. We do not go any further because it will be time consuming to figure out what are the other digits after the 3 decimal places there. But as you can see, 1.732 squared is actually less than 3. Square root of 3 actually lies in between 1.732 and 1.733. And in the previous video, we actually displayed the result as 1.732 because we do not figure out what is the next digit. But which one is closer? Which answer is closer to the right value of square root of 3? Is it 1.732 or is it 1.733? And to understand that, let's do a number line. Let's say this is a number line that displays from, for the sake of example, 1.7731, 1.732, and 1.733. And the value of 1.730500808 as displayed in the calculator sits right here roughly at this point, which is actually closer to 1.732 rather than 1.733. That means we can write the result of square root of 3 is equal to 1.732, and we put a comment there as correct to 3 decimal places. So this is how we round it off, but we need to do it something smarter than this, rather than drawing a number line, by figuring out what is the digit right after the 3rd decimal places. From the calculator value, we found out that the digit after 2 is 0, and 0 is basically closer to 1.732 than it is to 1.733. Now let's pick up another example. Let's say if you want to find out square root of 3 up to 4 decimal places. So square root of 3 can either be 1.7320 or 1.7321. So which one is closer to the actual result? So let's take a look at the number line again. Let's say this is 1.7320 and this is 1.7321. And the midpoint is somewhere here, which is 1.73205. But the figure is longer than that, which is 1.7325, and then has some more digits right after 5. So this digit should be located somewhere here, roughly. So which means that if we want to display a square root of 3 up to 4 decimal places, we should write it like this. Square root of 3, that is equal to 1.7321. Correct to 4 decimal places. As a general rule, if we want to round it off to 4 decimal places, we need to look at the 5th digit after decimal point. And if the 5th digit is 5 or more, then we round it up by increasing one more number to the 4th decimal place. For example, again, let me just write the value of square root of 3 according to the calculator. 1.732050808, and we want to limit it to, we want to display it until 4 decimal place. We cannot just cut out everything else because we need to figure out what is the digit right after the 4th decimal place, which is the 5th location, the 5th decimal place. And we find out that the value is 5. If it's less than 5, it's either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we round it down, which means that it becomes 1.730. But in this case, the 5th decimal place is 5. Then we round it up by adding one number to the last digit, to the 4th decimal place. So it becomes 1.7321. Example 2 will show you on how we estimate the square root of 5 up to 4 decimal places. So stay tuned.